Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Marion.
And I'm Corey Ballmeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. It is a grudge match this week on Versus Live. We are battling Lurrus on my side versus Yorion on Corey's side, the two best companions and our two favorite companions.
By far.
So, we've said this before. They are, pretty evenly matched in both Modern and Pioneer. So those are the formats we're playing this week. Standard is certainly Yorion's domain. Legacy is Lurrus's domain, at least for now.
Yeah, for a very short amount of time.
Honestly, first one to get banned in a format, that's kind of a check in Lurrus's favor.
Yeah, I guess. But it's a format that I feel is not going to get too much love from competitive play anymore. So who knows? That's hard to
valid
put
that
anything.
is.
Exactly, yeah.
Regardless, we are now 1-1 in our modern battles.
Yep.
We're playing for the marbles and the pride of our two companions.
Oh, yeah, which means a lot. The marbles are very important as well, but pride is
extra something on the line.
Exactly.
This week here on Versus. Been a nice day so far. We're finishing with two really sweet decks. I am playing Lurrus Jund, a deck that you're probably familiar with, but not this list. This is Lurrus Jund Field, a deck that, as far as I'm aware, was built by Will Pulliam.
Yep.
No stranger to Field of the Dead, playing a lot of Amulet Titan in Modern.
Yep.
And a deck that I really like on the surface. I think a lot of people have gotten locked into playing Lurrus with super low curves, but you can expand your curve with spells, just not with permanents. And still keep Lurrus as your companion. And with Modern getting really fair in the wake of companions, having a robust endgame is really powerful.
Yeah.
We saw Field of the Dead get banned in Pioneer because it invalidated most other fair strategies. That's how powerful this endgame was. And we're doing something similar to those Field of the Dead decks. It's kind of fair, interactive, kind of that Golgari Field deck that Autumn Bruchette and Sam Black unveiled at the Season 2 Invitational last November. So this is very similar to that. We've got our one Westville Abbey. We got a Bajuka Bog, which is a nice one to find. Graveyards are important. We got our 3 copies, I think, of Field of the Dead, a higher land count than most, but still, heavy disruption, a lot of removal, a lot of discard. We're just less aggressive. There's no Tarmogoyf in this list. Playing a couple Gilded Geese, actually, to play a little defense against aggro and against burn, but also just to accelerate us into that Hour of Promise. When we get Hour on turn 4, get that going a little bit earlier while we're interacting, it's going to work out a little bit better. Deck looks really cool. I think it makes a lot of sense in this metagame, and I'm going to try it out.
It makes sense, especially against other Lurrus decks that are trying to be controlling, like Lurrus spells kind of thing that were popping up, kind of really popular the first week, first 2 weeks, and then maybe a little of them have gone down a little bit.
Still see a little bit of them around.
A little bit, yeah.
More the Jund mirror. I would want to be playing the Field of the Dead side in the Jund mirror.
For sure, or even Temur or Rosa up against that last time, but up against other combo decks, it might struggle a little bit, and that's what I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing myself a combo deck that is near and dear to my heart here. We're going to be playing Copycat, Saheeli.
No, I'm playing the cat side, Corey.
Oh, of course. All right. Well, I'm the bird and the cat here, I guess. So we're going to be trying to, combo off with Infinite Cats, but also just have a ton of things that Yorion decks are doing. We have the Abundant Growth, we have the Astrolabe, but now we get Oath of Nissa in our ton of Planeswalker deck, which Oath is already just insane at making our mana even easier to cast our Planeswalkers due to that second clause where you do not have to, basically tap. You can tap your lands for anything when you're playing Planeswalkers. So
your colors don't matter anymore. Just put the Planeswalker into play.
Put it into play,
It's like Fires of Invention. Just how many lands do I have? Do I have enough? Okay.
All right,
we
jam it. Yeah. But then you still get the ability to blink it with stuff, so I get to play this fair game, and I'm even trying to lean into the fair game a little bit more because with 80 cards we have so much room. I added Stoneforge Mystic in that package to really fill out the 2-drop slot and kind of make your opponent play against that in such a way. Now, the Sword of Feast and Famine isn't as good as you would think that it would be in a combo deck, because sure, I can tap out to play Teferi and then attack, untap my lands. Then I can't counter. Then I can't combo off, because you do need to attack with the Saheeli Cat combo to actually win. But still a very powerful effect.
Very good in your fair game plan. I like having that just sort of one threat in game one, it's often going to die, but then post-board games, like, I want to bring out a lot of my removal, but I can't bring out all of it because Stoneforge Mystic is a really powerful threat. This is already a deck that wanted a lot of cards that get value when you blink them because you want to turn Felidar Guardian into a good card in your fair games.
Yeah.
And so Yorion just makes perfect sense in it.
Yeah.
Plenty of Planeswalkers to blink it and, get value off of. This deck seems really sweet. I know I saw Zan Syed testing with it earlier this week. I'm sure he's playing.
He's a fellow cat lover.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's playing a ton of Modern right now to prepare for the Lotus Box event this weekend. So definitely a deck that I think makes a lot of sense, much like the Jund deck. We haven't seen a ton of either archetype up until very recently, but these are definitely decks that I think both of us have pegged as decks on the rise.
Exactly. And the big problem here, though, it's a glaring issue for people that are picking this up. I do not want you to be taken by surprise by this. Magic Online, it takes a lot of clicks, and that is the thing that really sucks about this deck is, I wouldn't say it's unplayable online, but, when you're in a tournament that really matters, where you're playing one of these super PTQs, people aren't going to concede when you start doing the combo if the clock looks like it's going to be close. Now, in leagues, usually you play the combo pieces, people concede, and you can have a lot of fun with the deck. But taking it to a big high-level tournament like that, even the Lotus Box event, I can't speak for everyone's opponents, but you would probably run into that problem. So keep that in mind when you want to. First of all, drop a ton of tickets on this deck because it is playing a lot of mythics, so yeah,
definitely something to watch out for. You want to be well practiced because this is not the kind of combo deck that, sure, it might take 5 minutes to go through your combo turn, but it's happening on turn 3. Your earliest combo is turn 4, and that is not something this deck goes for often. You're playing that fair game, and you can combo off all in one turn. Not like you need to have a creature that's not summoning sick. So you're playing 10, 15, 20 turn games regularly, and if you're playing a lot of those, and then you have to combo off at the end of 2 of them, that's when you start running into some clock issues.
Exactly. So that's kind of frustrating. And I did do my drop and bomb on this, and if you can guess it, we ran into some problems here and there, but I won't spoil the results because it was absolutely crazy.
Okay. Well, hopefully you don't waste your clock now.
Yeah.
I've got a chess clock here for you.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I wish I brought one, but I don't own one.
Oh, that's too bad.
How much are chess clocks? I've never even looked to buy one because I never played chess.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah. How much does a chess clock cost? Like $10?
$10? One Stropony? All right. I think I can keep this. It's not necessarily a home run or anything, but it's a keepable hand.
I think I can keep mine as well. All I need to do is find one more land, and the sand is fine.
Okay. We're going to go Astrolabe, draw a card, and pass to you. That was a good draw on our part.
Based on a quick Google search on the first 4 results, anywhere from $24.95... $19.99 to about $64.50 is what I'm saying.
All right. Okay. All right.
I'm going to get you the 1999 model.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Not the classy stuff, huh?
Exactly. I mean, literally, I'm going to buy one that's from 1999. It's going to cost me like $6 on eBay.
Okay. Perfect. I'd like to see that.
I'm going to bauble myself because how I sequence my lands might actually change depending upon my top card.
Sure.
And because I see this, I'm going to lead on Field of Dead.
Okay. Card you like?
Draw this on your upkeep.
Ooh, well, that was a beautiful draw on our part.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so getting your fetch lands down of what lands you want is a very important thing because we are a 4-color deck, so you want to make sure you don't...
You have Astrolabe, so it doesn't matter.
Astrolabe, it does help a lot, but you do want to still make sure... So let's go with, I think, blue-green.
So we're going to 17?
Yeah. I think that's fine. I mean, this is a matchup where you can beat me down a little bit more, but not the biggest problem here.
Yeah, I'm also being told that there's a chess clock for $295 you could buy.
Oh. All right, blue-green, and then I'm going to play a Mystic, so I'm going to shortcut here a little bit. And now, do I want the sword or do I want the batter skull? And I think the sword is almost better here. I think I'm just going to go straight for the sword.
Okay. Well, that is not what I wanted to see. So now we've got to can I go for the sword?
Yeah.
Why are you getting the sword?
I think it's better.
What other creatures do you have to equip it to? You're just going to cast Felidar Guardian?
All right, maybe I'll get Batter Skull. Yeah, all right. Maybe you're right. Let's get Batter Skull. Just in case we lose the creature, you're right. I mean, I do have Quaddles, I guess, too. But
okay.
But yeah, just to be safe, I honestly think Sword is better just at getting through your stuff, but yeah.
Oh, we have to push that, so I'm going to go to 19 off the peat land.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn.
All right, that is dead. We'll untap. All right. Okay, we're going to sack this. So I was at 17. I'm going to go to 16. And I think I can just safely get a snow-covered plains here. All right, one of these days. 80-card decks, looking through them is a little tricky sometimes. So not an insanely fast start, but I wouldn't be too shocked if you just go Lurrus Bobble next turn. It's a decent play. So we are going to go with a Saheeli.
Yep.
Threaten some things, and then I'm going to down tick on Astrolabe and draw a card.
Okay, so I am at 17.
All right, pass to you.
Or, no.
Why'd you take damage?
Sorry, I'm still at 19. That's
okay. Astrolabe doesn't have that much attack points.
17 is what I was going to go to because I was going to take one off of this.
Okay.
I just had that in my head. Okay, I'm going to get this other ETB tap line down, so I'm going to bog you.
Okay.
Not that that's worth a whole lot.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play a Dark Confidant. Hope I'm not dead.
Okay.
So I'm at 18. You're up.
I don't think you're dead, for what it's worth.
And now you are.
And now you are, yeah. All right, we're going to take out Deal You Damage, Scry.
Now I'm at 17.
Definitely don't want that Stone Forge here when I'm looking for land. You said 17, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't hit the land, which is a tilt. But we can go funnel red into here and bolt that. And then I'll pass to you. Not an ideal draw, of course. We really wanted to land, but that's okay.
Well, now I will take one and play Lurrus. 16 all.
I'm going to remand that.
That's a tilt. Maybe that was a reason to do this the other way, but I've got to tap Blood Crypt and pass the turn.
Untap.
Continuing to hope I'm not dead.
We can't draw anything. No. Do we want... We could just get rid of Saheeli. That seems quite bad. Just to Astrolabe here. We're not that far behind. God, maybe. I really do want to land here. It's quite important. But if I miss, then I just have to discard. That seems bad. Okay, so we're going to take up...
I'm at 15.
Bottom, a non-land again, and pass to you. Tilt.
So I want to play around another counter spell if I can. So let's play Westvale Abbey, play Lurrus.
All right, let's mana like that.
Good. Now I have another Dark Confidant.
Okay.
So I'm at 14.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
All right. I think we can just safely untap here. Yeah, we're going to untap. All right. There's the land, but we don't have the cat. So I can Saheeli the Astrolabe to try to get cat here. Might as well do that. Copy Astrolabe.
That is a play that very much suggests that Dark Confidant is not living through the turn.
Yeah, that would be a pretty safe bet. So let's start with Teferi.
Okay.
Bounce that back. Draw a card. And I will pass to you.
Okay. Well, I think we'll be okay if you don't have the cat right now. Oof.
I got a lot of cards now.
You have a lot of cards. Do I play around you having top decked the cat? I'm at 14.
Okay.
You have 7 in hand?
7. Got the full grip. You know, Batter Skull. That's it.
So you've drawn 1 card since I knew you didn't have it. Then you're drawing 1 more card.
Yep.
4, 7, 10.
Doing that 80 card math?
Got 3 in your radar.
Yeah.
6, 9, 10, 13, 7 in hand, you said?
Yeah.
So you had 61 left when you drew. It's really unlikely that you hit. Approximately like 10 to 12%, something in that range.
I've hit worse otters.
I think I have like an okay play if I try to play around it, but honestly, I think my best chance of winning is to still just go for it. So I'm going to play Field of the Dead into Our Promise.
Drew it.
I drew a trophy, and I could have like trophied this and played Dark Confidant, but I know like your hand is full of gas, and that puts you to 5 mana. So if you just draw you already had a backup Sealy. So if you just draw land for turn, I'm dead anyway, and like you have another, you bolt the Bob.
I need 6 lands.
But I'm giving you an extra one with the trophy.
Oh yeah.
And like, what if you just go, even if you brick, you go like, bolt end step on that, and then you have like, plus this, play another Saheeli.
Yeah, or even just Quaddle.
Have Quaddle up an end step with sword going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a very bad spot.
Or even Yorion. Anyway. Blink this, Yeah. You were going to lose that game regardless. You just picked the line that directly lost. But yeah, I drew it right off the Teferi there, of course. But
Corey over there, like, never tell me the odds.
Huh?
It's like Corey over there, like, never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds, because I'll hit it. I was just trying not to smile when I was just looking at my cat. So
at that point, like, there's not really any utility lands I want to get, but I'm just going to get 2 different fetch lands. I'm going to make 4 zombies.
Yeah.
And I'm going to untap, have another hour. I'm going to have a board of 20 zombies and a trophy on Saheeli, and you're just going to need to have both combo pieces.
I think I like that, because if I didn't have it, then like you're going to be able to pressure Saheeli. So now you're making me have 2.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
I get to pressure both of these and then hold up the trophy.
Yeah.
I actually answer both combo pieces out of your hand.
Exactly. And any creature I play, you can trophy. I mean, I guess you can't do it at instant speed.
I just go wide around a blocker. I'm making so many zombies.
Exactly. Yeah. So a little unfortunate that you drew it there, but also a little unfortunate I didn't draw it any sooner.
I had a slowish draw, and you almost gave me enough time to draw out of it, just barely.
Yep.
So it kind of feels unfortunate from both sides.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird games.
It really was. But right after I searched for Batterskull, I just drew the sword. So like, oh, classic. Doesn't matter anyways. All right, we are going to take a short break, and we are going to be back with sideboarding here. More than likely a best 2 out of 3, but we might have enough time if I can't combo you fast enough to stretch this to a 3 out of 5.
Hopefully not.
But regardless, we are playing for the marbles, so a lot on the line. We'll be right back in a couple minutes with sideboarding.
Well, welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Lurrus Jund Field and Yorion Copycat. On my side, very few creatures really on either side of the matchup, so I'm trimming pushes as much as I can. The issue is my sideboard is not well set up for the matchup.
Yep.
I thought initially Boil would be good, but your mana base is actually not very island heavy.
It really isn't.
Because you're pretty green heavy to lean into Oath.
Yep.
And then you've got a good amount of like red and white too, so you're pretty spread out. You're not playing a lot of spells, so Mystic Sanctuary isn't a consideration.
Yep.
So I don't think Boil is particularly good. I'm just cutting as many pushes as I can. Seal is nice. It deals with both Stoneforge Mystic and the combo, because you can deal 2 damage to the Saheeli when you minus it.
Yep.
And then I'm bringing in an EE just because it can help answer some Planeswalkers. It's slow and clunky at doing that, but the game should be long if I'm disrupting your combo, which is priority number 1.
Yep.
So that's all I'm doing here.
And for me, I am bringing in 4 Veils again, because I just think it's the best card against like these Jund-based Lurrus decks, as well as Mystic Sanctuary counterspell decks, especially when I'm doing what I was doing in match 1, and that's trying to force through a combo. And a 1 mana, counterspell that draws you a card is just everything you want in these kind of things. So just play 4 when you're playing these kind of decks. I have 1. Yeah.
1 Mystic Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting these boils in our
Bring
deck.
them in.
Getting these boils in our deck.
Yeah.
Getting this 4th Fatal Push out. You got enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to cripple. It's not going to, completely take you out of the game.
Yeah.
But 4 mana to kill 2 lands is probably fine.
Yeah, probably fine.
I'm doing that consistently. I'm happy.
Okay.
We don't need the second EE. We're bringing in the boils. Corey's trying to lie to me.
I was. I did tell you I had 1, but
okay.
And I mostly only have 1 to like return Veils. Otherwise, I don't have good spells to bring back. So it's the best against control decks when I just want to set up a cat combo with like 2 Veils or something like that. So yeah, it's not a very good Mystic Sanctuary deck, as well as the fact that we just do not have as many islands. I probably have like 10 lands that are not islands, just like duals that are red-white, you know, green-white, stuff like that.
Basics.
But then taking out Path, I don't want to ramp you. I'm only trying to kill Bob and Dark Confidant and Lurrus, and I still have bolts in the deck, so I think that's enough here. So
yeah, again, very few creatures on either side of this matchup. I think that's a way that the metagame has trended a bit.
Yeah.
Initially, it was like, okay, everybody's playing Lurrus. They're playing it with cheap creatures. You got to have a ton of removal ready. And now everyone's figuring out how to play Lurrus with very low creature counts, which then puts your opponent in a squeeze. Like, how much removal do I leave in so I can consistently answer Lurrus? Because Lurrus with a bauble will take over the game. But I don't want to draw too many, because then I'm just going to end up with a pile of dead removal in my hand while my opponent's drawing cards and doing all this other stuff.
And we're seeing like decks like Counterbalance pop up because a product of that as well. You know, I mean, with that much removal, those kind of decks just are awesome. You know?
Completely creatureless in the main. You just blank their removal all the time. But like decks like these are nice. I think it's why we like both these decks. They put people in that squeeze, but they still play those grindy games that you're used to playing with creatures and removal spells. But they do it with late game trumps. They do it with a really good plan going along, and they still do it in a proactive way. They're not just holding back and playing a bunch of counter spells. I'm playing discard into Hour of Promise. You're playing a bunch of planeswalkers with the threat to combo.
Exactly. And honestly, I think the one thing that most of our good decks in Modern do is attack from multiple angles. Modern is so good, you don't have to have your deck be doing specifically one thing like we see in Standard, you know? You're able to play these like combo decks like we played with the Scapeshift deck in round 1, but also have Uro. So when you're sideboarding, you're like, how do I sideboard to stop the combo? And then they just pivot and they Uro or they Yorion me. So being able to have this split game plan where you're doing something fair and something busted, I think is the best thing. Not because doing odd end things makes your deck better. It makes it worse. Because if I was doing all combo things, I'm going to be a better combo deck, plain and simple. But it makes your opponent sideboard in a lot rougher ways, and it allows just mistakes from your opponent. And Magic is a very hard game, especially Modern. So when people make mistakes in sideboarding, and they might even be situational mistakes, like they might not even be mistakes.
It increases the variance in their draws. Because they have to have answers to the disparate parts of your deck. So, if they draw 2 paths and you don't draw an Uro, they just have 2 dead paths while you're playing a control Scapeshift game. Or if they
draw a bunch of paths, you just draw Brennan 6 and they're like, dang it.
They draw a bunch of counter spells, like you play Uro multiple times over the course of the game and you wear them down that way, like and you just ignore the Scapeshift.
We could go on forever with these kind of examples, because that's just what you have to be doing in Modern. The decks are so good, but that makes the game so good, and that's why just the format's so good.
Increases the variety in the gameplay.
Exactly. Variety is the spice of life, after all, and so is Yorion. Yorion is just life. How about that?
Okay, well, I have a solid hand here, and I will be keeping it.
This hand is a little iffy. In fact, it's probably a lot iffy. If I was on the play, I think I would keep this. And against Thoughtseize decks, I don't love having to mulligan this. This is tough. I think I just have to mulligan. If you just Thoughtseize me and take my oath, it's so bad. A few too many lands. I think being on the draw, I can mulligan this. I really like to, if I just had an Astrolabe instead of a 5th land, I would keep that, just because mulliganing against these Thoughtseize decks is really bad.
And on the play, you might keep that just because you get to go turn 1 land, go hold a Veil.
On the play, I snap keep it.
Turn 2 oath, hold a Veil.
Exactly. Yep.
Veil to Veil.
But Veil is definitely worse against these Jund decks on the draw. And against like the Mystic Sanctuary decks, they're just gangbusters from the beginning. They're always going to be good. But against Jund, it is a lot worse on the draw. So we're going to mulligan that. And let's try this again here. Down to 6. See if this one's any better. Okay. Yeah, I can keep this. It's not anything super special. But let's get rid of this land and fire it off.
Okay, I will start with Swamp Thoughtseize.
Okay. Pretty good Thoughtseize.
I will take your Lightning Bolt.
Okay, someone's got a Bob.
Pass the turn.
I was gonna say Astrolabe is a great hit here, but yeah, when you got that, okay, that was an interesting draw. I think let's start on a non-blue land because post-board games, you always have that chance to boil. So we're going to get a snow land. Let's get a forest. I'll go to 19.
Just Astrolabe?
I think so.
Do you draw an abundant growth?
Maybe. I'm not telling you. What is the best to do here? Actually, I am going to play Oath of Nissa, just because if I can get like a
Wrenn and 6?
Wrenn and 6 or Stoneforge, be able to curve into that. It's top 3, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so only have one target, but it's a good one. I'll take it to Fairy.
Okay.
These are bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Pass to you.
Gonna try to preserve my life total a bit for this Dark Confidant.
Okay.
I do have Hour of Promise in my deck.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna get basic Mountain here.
Okay.
You're
gonna get a nice clean activation next turn, unless I can top deck one of my bolts.
And so I'm at 17, and it'll be your go.
All right. Well, that is an interesting draw. Some piece of interaction here. It's going to be kind of obvious that I drew something when I just play a land and go, but that's what I'm going to do. Pass to you.
Someone drew a Remand.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Take 5. Called it.
12.
Yep. Oh, yes. That was nice. How many times can you do it?
Okay. Attack for 2.
Oh, you attacked, mister. You attacked, mister. No takesies, backsies on that one. No takesies, backsies. Let's go with Snowland. I'll play a Quaddle.
Sure.
All right. I will draw. No remand today, Ed Block. That's nice.
I'm gonna fetch for. Let's go with a green-black land, overgrown.
Going to 9?
Yeah. I don't have the Dark Confidant anymore. Who cares?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Play a Wrenn and 6.
Okay.
And plus. And let's get the Wooded Foothills.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. So I've got a pretty clean to Fairy turn here, which is not bad. Seems like the play. You can't really ramp into our next turn, so that's not too scary. So we're going to sack this. I'm going to 17. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I'm at 9.
Okay. Let's get a plains. We're going to conserve our life total as well. Not that that matters as much, but you can kind of end me pretty quickly anyways. And then I'll go with it to Fairy. And the real question is, do I want to bounce something? Like, what are you going to play that I really want to bounce? I guess a Lurrus, but if you kill to Fairy, it feels worse. So I'm going to bounce Oath, draw a card.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right, I got Guardian Astrolabe, okay?
Yeah. So I'm going to finish off this Teferi, so I don't need the Wrenn to make land drops this turn. And I will play the Foothills you know about and cast a Dark Confidant.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. Yeah, the negative on Wrenn, a little bit of an oversight, so that was not great. So let's start with...
kind of a risky Dark Confidant, but I want to pressure Planeswalkers.
Yeah. Let's start with a Astrolabe.
Yep. So now all I know is the Felidar Guardian and Oath, I guess.
Yep. Let's go with green Oath. Good.
Yep.
Okay. Land or Planeswalker, right? Land,
or
creature or Planeswalker. Okay, so only target here. Get that. I'll play this.
Ross, your Wrenn should be on 3, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Okay, and that's all I got. You get to do your Dark Confidant turn, which sucks.
Okay, well, let's crack fetch on end step.
All right.
So we can get a tapped shock land.
Thinning the deck for your another hour for you. I like it. That's so generous of you.
Let's get the Stomping Ground, I guess.
Okay.
Diversify our mana a little bit.
Yeah, an unchecked Bob here is brutal. I got you good with the Quaddle, but I just had that oversight of Teferi not ticking up. While it's a fine play, it's not a colossal punt. I would have much rather had that in play.
Yeah. So I'm at 8 after the fetch.
Okay.
We will... Oh, my God.
Yes! All right, you're at 3. I think I'll let that Dark Confidant stick around now. How about that? Wow. I think we have a clippable moment here if I've ever seen one. Wow. Yeah, even if I had a Quaddle, I'll take it. 15. Wow, that's awesome.
So let's kill this.
Okay. Smart.
I think that's pretty clear.
Wow, yeah, that's so funny. Oh my. That's so good.
God, I really don't want to go to 1 because of the threat of Ice Fang Quaddle.
Yeah.
So I think I just crack from my basic forest and go to 2.
Okay.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was some bad luck.
Skip this mana leak.
All right.
So
I'll go to
2.
14.
You're at 14.
Now green, white.
You can go.
I want to take 2 here? Kind of, because I guess if I do get 3 islands in play, I just win now by bringing back Bolt. So I do think I want to just take 3 and get some blue source here. I am more vulnerable to Stupid Boil, but I think it's worth it. Nah, let's just...
10 damage and 2 flip.
I just think justice was finally served. Justice was finally served. Wouldn't you agree? All right, let's just go with this. I think that's fine. So I'll stay at 14.
Yeah, we have 14 to 2.
Yeah. A little ways off from the Bolt thing, but now we're just drawing to a Bolt winning. Untap. No such luck. Now we're going to go with a Stoneforge. I'll get the sword. One of these days, okay. And then Breeding Pool tapped, and then I'll pass to you. I could have played Yorion this turn, and I think that play is pretty good as well. So this was a close one. Deal yourself 1.
EE on 2.
Okay.
Plus on Verdant Catacombs.
Okay.
Field of the Dead.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, letting me put an equipment in play. It's pretty nice. So untap.
Sure. You can cast it for 3 anyway. It's only a mana of your time. The issue here is I actually couldn't do what I want. I couldn't cast another hour this turn because you just get to sword past my zombies.
Yeah.
I literally have to EE on 2 to deal with the Stoneforge Mystic.
Yep.
And just hold it up.
Okay, I'll pass to you.
Okay. On your end step, I'll sack the Engineer Explosives.
All right, I'm going to flash in the Batter School. I got a germ somewhere around here.
Skulls. So that was
drew that a while ago.
Punished.
So head to you.
That's no help.
Get a token from that, right?
Yes, I do get a zombie.
Okay.
bauble myself.
Okay. Okay.
Play Lurrus.
Yep.
Bauble you.
Okay.
It's lightning bolts.
Was that going to be good anyways? It's lightning bolt.
I even had
lightning bolts all the way down.
Hand. There were only 3 in my deck.
Yeah, you got hit by variants real hard. I mean, hey, what was the deck? Wasn't there a deck that played Dark Confidant and like Greater Gargadon?
Yeah, and standard.
Yeah.
I love that deck.
Well, Ross, I hate to tell you, bud, we got time for a pity game, but we definitely don't have time for 3 more games. So I'm going to have to say you lost. I'm going to have to straight call it, but I also want to play one more game with this because that was an absurd game. That was absolutely absurd. And to be fair, you know, if you didn't deal yourself a ton, of course, you know, you get to play your turn 5 different. You don't have to worry about sword coming down and killing you. So everything changes there. Yeah. But I just still had so much gas in the tank too, you know. Yeah. But,
and in particular, the sword is really good against my zombies. So yeah, that's definitely something to watch out for.
That's why I wanted to search for it in the first place. But then you brought up the lack of creatures. But then the more I thought of it, I have cat, quaddle, and a creature I always have. So I think it was still best. But I totally understand why you're just like, yeah, that doesn't seem great. But it is my only way to attack through on the ground. You know, besides infinite cats, by just, you know, like attacking with a batter skull or something like that, you know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into this quickly since we're a little light on time.
Oh, yeah. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. I'll stay here all day and play Copycat.
My hand is perfectly fine, and I will be keeping it.
Ooh, mine's spicy, too. I'll keep.
I will need you to go home at some point, Corey.
What? Come on.
So I'm going to go to 18 and Inquisition you.
All right.
A nice peek.
Got a nice spicy one. Except this batter skull. That's not too spicy.
I can't take that one.
That's true. I'll allow you to. We can bend the rules, and I'll let you if you want. Okay.
It's definitely not Bolt because I don't have a Dark Confidant.
Okay.
So that one's gonna stay there. But
it's a tough choice. Basically, are you saying, is it okay for me to search up a sword, and can you kill this? Or is this important for the value train?
I think I am just going to take the Stoneforge.
Seems like that's the way for more things to go wrong, you know?
I agree.
Oath is very good, don't get me wrong, but...
Leave those up, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Makes it very easy. Now your hand is right there. You get to look at it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what do we want to do as far as the land to get? We're definitely oathing, but the real question is, what do we want to do? And I think it's just fine with the land we drew here. Give you some information, but whatever. Okay.
The information is not super valuable at this point.
Yeah, we'll get a Jace past you.
Not a bad one. Also not a bad one on my part.
Okay.
I will Thoughtseize you.
All right.
I will take the Jace.
All right.
I go to 16 and you can go.
Okay. All right, 16.
I'm going to go to 15 20. From this fetch.
Okay.
Just get it done.
All right, love something to play this turn. All right, that's good enough. Let's go with sack the Vista. We're going to try to once again avoid the basic lands getting got here by Boyle, and we'll juke around that as much as we can. So let's get this mountain. Seems fine. And I drew an abundant growth to put on this mountain, turn it into anything. A great draw, honestly, with Yorion. You know, I mean, these cards get amplified by just turn 5. It's essentially draw 2, you know?
Yep.
And then pass to you.
So you're at 19, I'm at 16.
Yep. Or you're at 15, right?
2, 4, yeah, 15, sorry.
Okay. Yep. Yep. I know you're losing, bud, but you don't have to cheat, you know? I mean, you're an honorable man, so...
Okay, well, I don't have much going on at this point, and I don't have baubles. So there's no point in playing Lurrus into the Bolt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'll just play land, or actually, maybe there is a point in playing Lurrus into the Bolt.
Okay.
Just to use my mana, I can rebuy it. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll take the bait.
Yep. So I'm taking 1 from this, so I'm at 14.
Okay. Yeah, if you got Unearth or something, it makes sense to want to do that. Let's get a Heath into play, and I'll pass to you.
Land drop is perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'll pass.
All right, I will sack this, go to 18.
Yep.
Let's get a duel of some variety. Once again, I want to avoid blue lands because it just doesn't matter too much. And if you have Boil, you'd probably just fire it off as a one of Stone Rain anyways. And I just want to make sure I set up turn 5 Yorion as best as possible. So we're going to try to get one of our non-blue duels. And Sacred Foundry meets that requirement. Let's see what else we got. Stomping Ground is my other option. I think I'd rather have white. So we'll go like that. I'm at 18, you're at 14. Got a big draw step. I'd like to draw that Jace that you thought seized. All right, now let me pile one more there. Okay, untap. It's a pretty solid draw here. Just something to do with my mana, I think, was excellent. So let's go with... I'm okay putting this into an obvious counter spell, but I do get to maybe set up, or an obvious removal spell, I should say. I'll go like this.
Yep.
We'll tick up, deal 1 to you.
I'm at 13.
Scry. Don't want that. And I will play a land. Pass to you.
Okay. Well, I would like to hour next turn if that ends up being possible. So I'm just going to trophy this now so I don't leave myself vulnerable to the cat.
Yep, that makes sense to me. Now I'll get the blue mana to have mana available for this counter spell.
Well, I drew an Inquisition, so I'll do that.
I did not have a counter spell.
I will pass the turn.
All right, that was great. That was ideal. All right, we'll untap. Draw. Pretty solid card to draw. Now the question is Batterskull or Yorion. It's just got to be Yorion, I would imagine, here. So let's jam this. Filter out these two.
Yep.
And I will play this land. I will bring these back. I will strap this to a basic mountain. I'm going to stack it, so doesn't matter. I'll draw first and then do that. Yep. Okay, top 3. Creature or creature, planeswalker, or land. I think I want a creature here, so let's go with Stoneforge and pass to you.
Bobble.
Okay.
Bobble myself.
Sure.
I want to draw a 5th land for next turn, so pass the turn.
All right.
A little late on this one.
Yeah, probably. Our hand is absolute fire right now, so that's pretty good. Attack for 4.
I'm at 9.
Okay. I'm going to Stoneforge. I will go get that sword. I probably could have tried to jam sword here, but that's a little risky. My hand is way too good to put myself in that kind of vulnerable situation. So, right on top, and I think I can safely... I definitely should have did this in the other order, so this was bad. But I can safely play a Teferi. Of course, other order, so he couldn't kill Mystic, but whatever, I made the mistake.
You have 3 in hand?
4.
4, and 2 equipment, 2 unknowns?
Yep.
Don't think I can beat that Teferi. I'm at 9 right now.
9, correct.
Yeah, I just don't have a way out of this. Like, I had a pretty reactive hand this game, but all your stuff just gains value immediately, and it just took... I stalled on 4 lands for a couple turns, so this hour never got going until you got going.
Would
now,
these 2 be good?
Just for Manville.
Yeah, I mean, this deck is just an absolute delight to play whenever I have the combo and I can just say, hey, I win. But you know what? One thing that never really happened, I guess I did cat combo you game 1.
Yeah.
But you know, games 2 and 3, it was fair. I mean, it wasn't fair that you flipped over 10 damage for that, but you know.
But even without that, I think you were ahead that game. That was surprising to me. I thought I would be favored in the fair games, and you would generally be winning by finding an avenue to get through the combo.
Yeah.
Especially on turns when like I have to tap out for hour.
Yeah.
And that happened in game 1, but games 2 and 3, I just felt like I was too slow to get to my end game.
Yeah.
Whereas you got to yours pretty easily. Also, like you have mana leak and remand. For my 5 drops, I have basically nothing to interact with the Yorion.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
The Yorion is not only, you know, drawing you a bunch of cards when I'm interacting early, it's also a big flyer.
Yeah.
And that flyer is something that I kind of have to trophy, but then you have all these artifacts from the Stoneforge Mystics. And like you had removal for my Lurrus, so I never got my engine going, but I never really stopped you from doing anything.
And I really like the sideboard plan of, you know, I mean, I'll keep saying it again, and I say it in a joking manner a bit, you know, but the 4 Veils, I just think it is the best card when you're trying to push through a very powerful combo. And, you know, I mean, that's just the pushing through the combo part. Not even mentioning the fact that it reacts to Thought Seizes on turn 1, that it reacts to spot removal and stuff like this. It just really does it all. So just play 4 of this card whenever you're trying to push through something very powerful, which is almost always what Modern is about. And yeah, I think this deck is really the real deal. And if we were to have an SCG open to play for, I would be 100% playing this. But, you know, like I said, it does have that problem with Magic Online, which sucks. There's just no way around it, you know?
Yeah. I will say that I think you will run into that a little bit less so in the Lotus Box event. The event,
True.
It's not like you don't have more time on your clock. You do only get 25 minutes, but it functions a lot more like a paper tournament where people just concede when you show them combos.
It really does, and I mean, just props to the people that play that tournament. You know, just the general setup of it. But you know, when you put a Pro Tour invite attached to things, people tend to just any line to win. You know, you can't fault them for that. And I really don't. You know, I've won because of timing out before, and it sucks. You know, I don't feel great about it, but I'm still not going to be like, okay, I'll concede to you. You know, so but if they're about to combo off, you know, that's a different story. I'd like to think I would concede there, but
you never expect it. It's just part of the game.
Exactly.
But yeah, really impressive showing from this deck. Less impressive showing from the John Field deck. Just seemed a little clunky to me.
It did. It didn't seem great.
Yeah, I didn't really have smooth draws. Even the game where I had Red and 6 going and I was making all my land drops was the game where, you know, I had fortunately 10 damage off of the Dark Confidant, and that changed how I had to play. But Sword was a really, really good way to get through Field of the Dead and just give you a little bit of an edge. You've got flyers along with it. You know, and even outside of Dark Confidant, I'm dealing myself quite a bit of damage. You know, fetching, shocking, Ren and 6 are a lot more fetch lands, Thought Seizes.
Honestly, normally that doesn't matter against this deck realistically, but you definitely hit the extreme side of the spectrum that put it into it.
Even if I'm at like 12, you know, the Yorion's a 3-turn clock. I mean, you can bolt once, peck in with some Ice Fang Coatls. If I deal myself 6-8 damage, which is not unheard of, you know, then your Yorion's a 2-turn clock. That's significant.
Slapping a Batter Skull and stuff too. You know, I mean, that is why I like the fair side of this, bringing that tough element to play against. But one thing that I do want to point out from our matches, all the busted combo decks won. All the best combo decks, right? Like you were kind of a combo, but you were more Dimir control game 1, and I was a combo deck that could play control. You know, second round, you're just a very aggressive creature combo, and here I am. I'm a combo control deck again as well, but more leaning on a combo than you know, most decks. So.
It's really the you know, from finding ways to get these companions fit into shells that have combos, because that is the best way to pull your opponent into that multiple different directions that you were talking about. Because if you don't, you know, respect a combo, it's going to kill you. That's what they do. But if you don't respect the companions, they're powerful enough to also dominate a game. So it really is a nice pairing, and one that I think we're going to see even more of. You know,
combo control has been one of the best things you can do before, and these are control cards. They're mid-range cards. You know, they are. control cards is the wrong way to say it, but they are mid-range engines. So mid-range control kind of play that same role. You know, we look at like standard Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa dominated with a Bant ramp deck, but it was Bant control with Yorion, just played a bunch of counter spells and stuff like that, but it was also had the mid-range aspect. Kind of the same thing here with just companions across the board.
Yeah, so, definitely. Yeah. And, you know, I don't think that's an accident. That's a good thing that you noticed. Definitely something that I'm always scared when my opponent has two really, really powerful avenues of attack that I have to respect, you know, from a very early part of the game. So, and in addition, they have disruption of their own. So it's not like I can singularly focus on stopping and know all of my stuff is going to work. Like they can kind of do it all.
Yep. And I mean, you know, and I don't want this takeaway to be very stressed, that combo one, because you know what? There is so many good decks in Modern that, you know, you can have a really aggressive kind of control deck like Prowess, I feel kind of feels like aggro tempo. You know, they play these key spells that matter. That's very tough to deal with, you know, and it's just Modern is just so wide open. You can really do anything right now and have some good results if you just play some good Magic.
Yeah. And if you look at, you know, the Dimir Thopter deck and this Jund Field deck, I think they're pretty well positioned against the companion decks that are playing only fair.
Yeah.
Because they do have a more powerful late game than what those decks are doing. But when they run into companion decks that have combos that literally end the game on the spot, then now suddenly their late game is being trumped, and they've cut a lot of the early pressure that the fair decks have. Just the straight fair decks, which is like Prowess, Burn, regular Jund with Tarmogoyfs and things like that. And they need that pressure because suddenly they're in a matchup where the dynamic is such that they're not the one who has inevitability. They have to be the aggressor, and they're not equipped to do that. Yeah. And those are the two matches that I lost today. I just wasn't able to apply pressure to you. You were able to do your thing. I had a bunch of discard. Discard is horrible against Yorion. Yep. You know, and that spelled my doom. Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, it is metagaming has never been more important than it is now too, because we see a lot of in just all the formats, we're seeing metagame shifts so fast because these decks just can adjust to the other companions decks so easily by playing like more removal. If Burn is really popular and Prowess is really popular, people play more removal. Then the combo decks come out to beat these decks trying to react to those. And then if these combo decks come out, you know, then the aggressive decks come to beat those. It is just a constant flow. And you really have to think about what is being played right now and how can I answer it? Ask yourself those questions all the time. And that's not going to dictate maybe what deck you play, right? Like, but it can definitely dictate what sideboard cards you want to bring in and stuff like that. So
there's just so many roughly equal decks that the companions fit into that you're never going to get to a point where, okay, we found the best Lurrus deck. Yeah. You know, there's 5 different really good Lurrus decks, 10 different really good Lurrus decks. Same with Yorion, and they exist in a matrix where some beat others and lose to others, and like they have different matchup spreads across the board. And that's why I think the companions have really played out very nicely in Pioneer and Modern. Yeah, I think they're great. In Legacy and in Standard, they have tended to just privilege 1 or 2 decks above the rest. Yeah. So Standard has been a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah, and I mean, even Standard, we noticed, you know, Mono Red came back this last weekend. If you didn't see in the challenge event, there was 2 in top 8, you know, and that was because these mid-range Yorion decks were just going at an arms race against each other, main decking like 8 counter spells. Mono Red just said, okay, you know, Simon Gertzman was one of the people to make the top 8 of this, and Simon was just like, well, you know, if you're going to play these cards to try to beat the other Yorion decks, I'm going to laugh at 10 main deck counter spells, Dovin Vetoes and disputes against my all-red decks.
12 drops or something.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's metagaming able to happen everywhere, and I think you said something great where you're like, the companion, you're never going to notice the best companion in Modern at a given time. I think you can just get companion out there and you're going to be like, there's never a best Modern deck at one time right now. It's constantly flowing. I couldn't tell you what it is right now, and that's why I love the format, because it's just a variety pack, you know?
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. I think we got a little bit of time still if we want to take a question or two. Rob?
Yeah, one question. Some people were talking about decks to play in Modern earlier, and ad nauseum had gotten brought up. And I'd also seen a comment over the weekend from Dylan Donegan in his Red-White Prowess deck that he was playing. He'd played 2 Angel's Grace in the sideboard. One of his comments was that was somewhat targeted at ad nauseum. So are you seeing a rise in that deck in Modern right now?
We've I don't know if you noticed, we do see it. I think it won either a challenger or super qualifier in the last week or week and a half. And I've seen certainly way more of it than we have for the last year. Still not, you know, a ton.
Yeah.
You know,
I play against it in the leagues every once in a while.
Yeah, but now you see it. I think a lot of that, I'm not entirely sure what the ad nauseum players think their good matchups are, because I beat that deck with everything.
Same. Same.
So, and I don't think the deck is very good.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure their thought process is that Phyrexian Unlife helps you a lot against like burn decks and buys you a lot of time, and you just race them. And then a lot of other decks are built with like removal heavy, strategies to counter each other.
Yeah.
And so ad nauseum matches up better against those. And I think that makes sense. I think ad nauseum is positioned better than it has been. But to me, it starts at such a low place that raising it a little bit still doesn't get it near the top.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good deck personally, but it's one of those things that people love that kind of style of decks, and it does beat linear aggro decks, in my opinion. So these aggressive Lurrus decks, maybe even these disruptive Thoughtseize style decks are okay against it, or I mean that it's okay against those, but yeah, I don't know. I don't lose to it either.
The deck is really inconsistent.
And it doesn't get a companion. It hasn't got anything new in a long time.
To get Thassa's Oracle, which can make winning a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And I think the list is slightly cleaner, so it has gotten a small upgrade recently too, but it's still just not a deck I think is very good. Though, with the Dylan's deck specifically that you brought up, Rob, the list that Dylan was playing was a prowess list, but not one like you're used to seeing. It wasn't playing Goblin Guide. It was playing Seeker of the Way main. It was playing Path main. It was a slowed down version of prowess that was built to be able to play a long game against removal and have this robust end game in Burn Mirrors, with Seeker of the Way being rebought with Lurrus.
Yeah.
And
Seeker of the Way has always dominated aggro too back in the day. That card is awesome.
Playing 2 mutagenic growths to protect his creatures against red removal. So if you go turn 2 Seeker, mutagenic growth when they go to bolt it, the game's probably over.
Game's over, yeah.
So
you got to drop from the tournament if that happens to you, yeah.
But that version of the deck, relative to a more straightforward prowess build or just a burn build, is certainly much slower in a matchup like ad nauseum. So I could see a deck like his wanting to sideboard for that matchup.
Yeah.
And obviously Angel's Grace seems great, right?
Yeah, that seems awesome. But yeah, basically, listen to Dylan Donegan, play that kind of good deck. Don't play ad nauseum, but Dylan's prepared for everything on that, so that's smart.
If you're a matchup like that where you're an aggro Lurrus deck that is slowing yourself down, maybe you want to think about sideboarding a bit more for ad nauseum. But if you're just a normal deck, it shows up. Have a plan for it.
Yeah.
Think about it, but you don't have to go overboard.
Agreed. All right, so before we thank some subs, just a reminder, everyone, if you liked the 4-color copycat Yorion list, we'll be up on Dropping Bombs tomorrow, and if you want to see a little bit more gameplay and just an in-depth look at why I played the cards I did with the help of Zach Allen. So, all right, let's thank some subs and thank some sponsors and get out of here.
We got a few subs today.
Okay.
Borishan for 9 months. CPL Heart 47 for a month. Lord Vel for 4 months. Tron Travolta for 14 months.
Nice.
Crispy 724 for 6 months. And Master Marshmallow for 16 months. So thank you all for our subs.
All right, huge amount of subs, so thank you so much. We appreciate the support here at Star City Games on our Twitch channel. If you want to support SCG in another way and get yourself some awesome perks, head over to SCG Premium. For $7.99, you can get yourself some exclusive content to some of our very talented writers. You can also read Ross's article, which is cool. So
I wrote about the Abzan Rally deck that 2 days later I took on the challenge with. Exact same list, cyber guide, deck guide.
Not even going to acknowledge my burn to you there. You can check out all these awesome authors, and you can also check out Ross. All right. That's not fair if he just doesn't acknowledge it. That's no fun. That is not all you get, though. You can get yourself 5% off sealed products, 10% off singles, and 15% off supplies. And I know we changed it. It was go to Star City Games, but
starcitygames.com/join-premium.
Thank you. Yep, we're changing it on the daily. Just keep us guessing.
Yeah, so gotta keep us on our toes. Otherwise, we get lazy.
Exactly. So head over there and subscribe today.
Yes. And speaking of supplies, we here at SCG at Versus Live, man. At Versus Live, do use Ultimate Guard supplies, specifically the Katana sleeves. So if you are a premium member, you will get 15% off of Katana sleeves and other Ultimate Guard supplies at checkout. Be sure to check those out on the website.
Absolutely. If you want to be as comfortable as me and Ross, and you want Karnox chairs to get your back, head over to karnox.com/SCG. You can use that affiliate link to get yourself 10% off one of these awesome gaming chairs.
Yes. shirts. And you can also get 10% off of Coalesce apparel, which are the shirts that we wear on every episode of Versus Live.
Oh, we matched again.
Yes. At least we didn't match the same color. We each got like 3 or 4 that Keeping It 100s.
Yes.
Very popular shirt, I'm assuming.
I like it.
Okay, but you will get 10% off if you use the gift code SCG when you go over to coalesceapparel.shop. So use that gift code, get yourself 10% off. You'll be comfy in these shirts, you'll be comfy in these chairs. You can have your cards be comfy in these sleeves. Everybody's comfy. I
kind of want to get a Keeping It 95, for Yorion with a sideboard, or maybe I'll just add 5 cards to my Yorion deck to really hit home with Keeping It 100. So
there's got to be a good 95 pun. It's not party like it's 95. That was 99.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Maybe we'll make a shirt.
That's gonna be the next Coalesce apparel shirts have got to be companion puns. They have to be.
They have to be. Yeah, we gotta
make
get
some bad otter pun and get a Lutri shirt.
So we leave that to Riley. He is the otter pun extraordinaire. Okay. So, all right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our Yorion versus Lurrus battle here in Modern. We are gonna be back on Thursday to try it all over again, but this time Pioneer Yorion versus Lurrus, and so far Yorion is the king, queen, bird, serpent, I don't know, however you want to look at it.
The monarch.
The monarch, yes.
This is magic. You become the monarch.
Yorion is definitely the monarch today. So tune in Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So for Corey, Ross, Rob, we'll see you then.